Welcome to this session on how to score 100 plus in CTET 2021 with free guidance by Dr. Yakaiah Team. Are you a teacher educator or a teacher guiding other colleagues or friends who are preparing for CTET 2021? Or you have some questions how to secure 100 plus marks in upcoming CTET 2021 exam? If your answer is yes to any of these questions, you're most welcome to a free session at 7 p.m. tomorrow, that's 1st November 2021, live to be continued on YouTube. So I'll be sharing the links below this. If you are interested, please do join for live session and join one of the WhatsApp groups related to this, where I'll be sending the links related to this. Dear friends and colleagues, thank you for giving your time and taking interest in guiding students and the learners and the aspiring teachers in successfully clearing their CTET. As you are aware, unlike the good old days, these days it is not like once the child gets D.Ed or B.Ed, a teaching degree, it's done, he's going to get teacher job or get married and settled in life. Days have changed. They have to clear the CTET and then go through the TRT or other teacher recruiting exams and agencies. So as a part of my social responsibility, on the occasion of my 25 years of teaching experience, I have dedicated this season for guiding CTET aspirants freely. Yes, you heard right, it's 100% free. No hidden charges, 100 hours of guidance at the rate of 2 hours plus a day for the coming 45 days, starting that's tomorrow, the 1st November 2021 at 7 p.m. So I invite you to share this to the people who are concerned, or if you can make some time and join us live and witness what it is, and thereafter you share to your wards, friends, and the aspiring teachers, it will be great. I am offering this program free of cost and an Inspiring Teachers program. I believe in inspire teachers and you can transform the world. With these words, I invite you and take leave of you. Thank you so much. Dr. Yakaiah, teacher educator by profession, inspiring teachers and researchers is my passion. See you tomorrow live at 7 p.m. That's 1st November 2021, YouTube live on my channel, YAKAIAHPODUPUGANTI.
Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, at whatever time that you are watching this session. I try to see to it that you take most of the advantage from this session of science pedagogy, from CTET guidance, from Dr. Yakaiah and team. Once again, I welcome you all the participants in this session. And I'm Dr. Hafiz. I am going to take your science pedagogy for the CTET guidance paper 2, and we'll be discussing about the pedagogical issues in this science. And let me tell you about few lines about myself. I am a doctorate in education from Usmania University, and I have done my PhD under Dr. Professor Ramakrishna sir from Usmania University. And the topic which I have taken for this PhD is scientific creativity in relation to academic achievement in science among secondary school students. I was successfully awarded in the year 2017. And apart from that, I have qualified my UGC NET in education, CET in education, and TS CET in life sciences. Apart from that, I have 8+ years of working experience as a teacher at high school level, teaching biological sciences and English pedagogy. Apart from that, I have taught the MEd and BEd students at colleges of teacher education. Okay, now we are going to start with this science pedagogical issues, not taking much time of yours. And let us see about these science pedagogical issues. Here we are going to deal with the science pedagogy under CTET guidance by Dr. Yakaiah and team. And let me have another. Yes. So in this PPT, you are going to see the what syllabus is usually there in science and science pedagogy. So we have here the science, and under the science, we have different topics which are your content. And from the content, you will be getting 20 questions. And then you'll be also getting 10 questions from pedagogical issues. So 20 questions will be there from science, that is food, that is the first topic you have. Under that, that is sources of food, components of food, cleaning food. Then you have here materials. Materials here you'll be having regarding this materials of daily use, which is used daily. And then third topic is the world of the living. Fourth is moving things, peoples, and ideas. Next is how things work, electrical current and circuits, magnets. And next we have natural phenomena, followed by natural resources as the last topic. So these are your topics which are going to be under the content from which you will be expecting 20 questions. Now, next is your pedagogical issues. Here you will be expecting 10 questions from here. And the first topic you have here is the nature and structure of science. Second is natural science aims and objectives. Third, understanding and appreciating science. Fourth, approaches and integrated approach. Next is your observation, experiment, discovery as a method of science. And you have innovation, followed by text material and aids. Then you have evaluation, which is going to evaluate the cognitive, psychomotor, and affective domains. Next, you have the problems. Lastly, it is your topic, that is remedial teaching. So here altogether we have 10 topics, and we are going to just have a brief introduction of all what comprises of all these topics. So the next we are going to go. The next one we have here. Okay, just a minute. Yes. First is your nature and structure of science. The first topic is nature and structure of sciences. So first of all, we need to understand what exactly is science as a discipline. So science, as defined by Fitzpatrick in the year 1960, said that it is a cumulative and endless series of empirical observations which result in the formulation of concepts and theories, which both concepts and theories being subject to modification in the light of further empirical observations. And science is a body of knowledge, and it's a process requiring and refining knowledge. So here we have different aspects related to science. It is not just the facts and it is not just the concepts, but it is also having theories and its own empirical observations. So it is a large and a vast body of knowledge. It is a process of how to acquire, how to refine knowledge, and how to again make it into concepts and theories and generalization of these theories. Okay, then this is what is about the science, and we have the nature of science here. See, the nature of science, again, it is something that is talks about the structure of science. So the nature of science itself is the structure of science, where the nature of science talks about the substantive and the syntactic structure. We'll be looking into detailed aspects of this in the further classes. Just briefing out, I'm going to do it here, where in the substantive structure, see, we have the different classes of definitions, facts, knowledge, statements, observation statements, concepts, theory statements, generalizations. And on the other hand, we have the syntactic structure of science, where it is more practical based, where it talks about the practical processes of scientific inquiry, methods, strategies, and how the knowledge is developed under it. Okay, then next I'm going to go further with the second topic we have here, natural science aims and objectives. So here, natural science and aims and objectives. See, here aims and objectives are again different. It's not one and the same. Aims are the long-term goals which we need to achieve in the science education, and objectives are the stepping stones to achieve those aims. And these objectives again can be differentiated into the educational objectives and the instructional objectives. It can be also be seen as specific objectives regarding, and then general objectives. So we will talk that about later. So first we'll see about the aims and standards of science education. What are the academic standards of science education? See, here we have number of academic standards. The first is that to know the facts and principles of science and its application, and with respect to the consistent with the stage of cognitive development, where the child stands and what is the level of the child's cognitive development. And next, it is about to acquire the skills and understand the methods and processes that lead to generation and validation of scientific knowledge. Next, develop a historical and developmental perspective of science and to enable him or her to view science as a continuing social enterprise. So it is one thing that we need to understand. We need to know the facts and principles, we need to acquire the skills, and we need to see to that how this science has been developed from ages and ages into this vast body of knowledge, and how it is now going to continue as a social enterprise where it has its own social value. And the next aim is to relate science education to the environment, like such as the natural environment, the artifact, people, local as well as global, and appreciate the issues of science and technology in the society. And the next aim here is to acquire the requisite theoretical knowledge and practical technological skills to enter the world of work. Yes, because now these days lots of jobs are available which require science and technological equipped people. And we have the next aim, nurture the natural curiosity, aesthetic sense, and creativity in science and technology. See, it's very important to understand how science works out in, and there is a lot of curiosity these days about how science goes on, what is the natural phenomena, how it works, how the processes are, and we need to attach a aesthetic sense towards it, the beauty of the nature, the beauty of the working phenomena in the ecosystem. And then we have to imbibe the values of honesty, integrity, cooperation, concern for life and preservation of environment. That's extremely important as per the recent COP26. Then I have here the next academic standard, that is cultivate scientific temper, objectivity, skepticism, critical thinking, and freedom from fear and prejudice. Okay, so we have all these aims and academic standards. Now, next we are going to see what are the learning outcomes in science education. See, very importantly that we have the different aims now. So how about the outcomes? What are the outcomes of science education once we try to inculcate these aims and try to achieve these aims? The one of the most important is that the conceptual understanding and application to daily life situation. Next is asking questions and making hypotheses, experimentation, information skills, communication through drawing models, concern towards biodiversity, aesthetic sensitivity, and appreciation. So all these are the different outcomes of science education. Like each aspect, each learning outcome plays a great role in trying to make the child understand the syntactic as well as the substantive structure of science. Now, moving further, are the objectives of science teaching. So I may not read out each and every point because I'm not going to go into detail as it is a brief introductory session today. So I'll be just seeing that what exactly are the general objectives here, like to provide the knowledge and facts. Yes, to develop skills in experimentation. Okay, then we have the develop the ability to improvise apparatus, to organize exhibitions and fairs. And next is to inculcate scientific attitude characterized by critical observation, open-mindedness, and objectivity. Okay, then we have to impart training in scientific method, to develop interest in science by participating in the science-related curricular and co-curricular activities. Next, we have here to inculcate socially desirable habits of honesty and tolerance and truth for others and viewpoints. Then we have to develop the ability to appreciate and contribution of science in progress of mankind and the impact of it on day-to-day lives, to use a leisure time in a constructive way by involving scientific hobbies, and to make careers related to science, and to prepare students for different science subjects and specializations as of now, like biotechnology, medicine, engineering, astronomy, and many others. And we have here to apply knowledge in science in everyday life, to solve problems which the learner encounters systematically using scientific method, and then to contribute meaningfully towards conserving environment by judicious use of resources. So all these are the objectives of science teaching. Now, we move forward with the third topic of science pedagogy, that is understanding and appreciating science. It's very important to understand and to appreciate what science is, how science works, what are the concepts of science, and to apply them to solve the problems in familiar and unfamiliar situations. And the students are expected to develop critical and reflective thinking and judge the credibility of scientific information. So here, first of all, the main thing is that to understand, and then next, once they understand and they have a reflective thinking, then they definitely try to appreciate science in our day-to-day life. And there is also a pedagogical shift recently from the nature of science, moving further from substantive and synthetic structure to perceiving science as a particular way of looking at nature, understanding the various causes and effects of nature, spreading the concepts of nature, of science and natural science, interdisciplinary areas of learning, and much beyond it, making science as a truly international enterprise with international collaborations for scientific development. So here it is like an appreciation far away to understand the main themes of science and how it is relating to the nature, and how people are coming out with new ideas and interdisciplinary areas of science, how it can be connected, and making it much beyond, making it more national and international, and having scientific development with different collaborations with different institutes and organizations. So we move forward with the fourth topic here. We have approaches and integrated approach. So there are different approaches to learn science, to understand the concepts of science. Here we have the inductive approach, we have the deductive approach, heuristic approach, and the integrated approach. So the first one, that is the inductive approach, it says that we need to go from the basic things, from the specific things to the more general things. So we move forward in generalizing, whereas in the deductive approach we move forward in making the concepts more and more specific to the problem, and we try to just deduct the approach here. We try to decrease the solutions and come out with just only one solution, whereas in the inductive approach we try to expand and have number of ways of solving the problem. Then next we have here third one, that is heuristic approach. In this heuristic approach, it is an approach where a child will try to discover, the child will try to understand while discovering, while exploring the different aspects and the different concepts and phenomena of science. We have the next one, that is the integrated approach. In this integrated approach, it is the integration of the science topics from one discipline to another discipline, and how we can try to relate the concepts of science across the multidisciplinary way, where we are integrating 2-3 concepts and trying to understand the basic idea behind that, the basic concept, the basic what is the concept, what exactly is the main point behind it. So the integrated approach tries to integrate the different concepts of science, and it makes the child understand how the concept of science can be again applied in different areas at the multidisciplinary level. And further, we are also going to see the methods of teaching science and the techniques of teaching science. And this is going to be in the fifth topic, where we are going to discuss about the lecture method, demonstration method, lecture cum demonstration method, scientific method, problem solving method, observation, experiment, discovery method, team teaching, discussions, quiz, brainstorming, seminars, and scenario building. So all these again are the different methods of teaching and different techniques of teaching, where we are going to look into one by one steps also, along with the examples as well. And I'm not going to go into much detail, and we are going to go into the next sixth topic, what it talks about innovation. Innovation is one of the most important topic, and it says about how children are innovating new things, what is the process behind that, and what is called as an innovative product or a creative product. Whenever a particular product has different kind of characteristics like novelty, resolution, and style, it becomes as a creative product. And once this creative product is created and a social value or economic value is attached to that product, it is nothing but called as an innovative product. And then later, these innovations becomes patents, and the person who has discovered will be the person who could claim the patent for this product. And here, this is the innovation and the creative product. These are coming out from the different thinking processes, like the divergent thinking processes. So here the thinking processes are like, you have the convergent thinking and we have the divergent thinking. So mostly when we want to solve out the problems, we want to come across towards the one single factor, one single cause for a particular problem, or a solution for a particular problem. We go into the convergent thinking. When we want to have a diverse thinking, when we want to have many solutions for one problem, we usually go with the divergent thinking processes, and this thinking processes is the resultant of the creative product. So a person has divergent thinking, and then from there they will produce a creative product which will have novelty, resolution, and style. So novelty is an attribute of newness, resolution is how the product works and what it's supposed to do, and style is about how well the the elements are redefined and can be developed into a unit, how best it could be produced into a particular complete product. Okay, so next we are going to see about the seventh topic, that is text materials aids. So in this text materials and aids, basically we have different supplementary materials along with science, like we go about the different science materials. Like here we have the science textbooks, we have supplementary reading materials, we have practical manuals, we also have apart from that reference books as well from different authors, which we can definitely refer and we can teach to the students, and different class books also, which all becomes the text materials. And again, these aids, how to use the teaching aids, again it is very well done by Edgerdale cone of experience, where at the base of it we have the direct purposeful experiences, then we have the contrived experiences, dramatized experiences, demonstrations, field trips, exhibits, television, motion pictures, recordings, radio and still pictures, visual symbols, and verbal symbols. So as we go from bottom to the top of the pyramid, we are trying to contrive the experiences and we are making it more and more abstract. So here the abstraction of the experiences will be there at the pinnacle of the cone of experiences of learning science, where we are just talking about the verbal symbols, visual symbols, and recordings and still pictures and motion pictures. Whereas once we go with this kind of motion pictures, television, exhibits, these are basically the iconic or the contrived experiences, and bottom down as we are going, we have here all the inactive experiences where the child will be doing the activities and performing demonstrations, dramatized experiences, and direct purposeful experiences along with the contrived experiences, where the child will try to enact a particular activity and gain experiences. So the more the experiences, the better the understanding of the science, and the lesser the experiences will not be able to understand the science, because science is a practical subject. That's it's very important that a child must have experimentation and activity based teaching and learning. So this is the different cone of experiences, and along with the cone of experiences, no doubt we can try to have different teaching aids and text materials according to the need and situation of teaching and learning. Next topic we have here, the evaluation in science. So in the evaluation in science, we evaluate how far the child has acquired the knowledge, understood science, and achieved the objectives or aims of teaching science. So here it is, the first is your cognitive evaluation, second is psychomotor evaluation, and third is the affective evaluation. So the first cognitive evaluation talks about the cognition, about the knowledge, about the understanding of the child, the understanding about how far the child is able to understand the science concepts, and then we have how the child is able to apply that knowledge in the day-to-day situations. So all this comes under the cognitive evaluation. Then here in the psychomotor evaluation, the child will be able to perform experiments, do some kind of a demonstrations, prepare projects or reports or some kind of a models, where the child will be able able to understand and try to apply the concept, what he or she has learned, the phenomena of it will be reflected in the activity and in the experiments and the performances, which is nothing but called as the psychomotor evaluation. Lastly, we have here the affective evaluation, where the child can be evaluated, can be assessed based upon how far a child has the affection towards science, towards having the attitude and aptitude towards learning science, and how far honesty and integrity, all those values which can be imbibed through science teaching and learning. So here the affective evaluation is more about the how the child is more and more emotionally attached with the science and trying to understand the knowledge, trying to solve the problems with the help of science. Okay, so we will see all this later. And next, the ninth topic we have here is the problems. Under the problems, our students should be able to recognize and recall scientific information. They should be able to understand how the problem has been there, what are the causes of these problems, and how the child can be able to understand the scientific information, how they can solve it. And the next is about explain and apply scientific information to solve problems in familiar and unfamiliar situations. So here the child should be able to apply the scientific information, in able to solve the problems in day-to-day life, and then analyze the scientific information by identifying components, relationships, and patterns, experimental data, and ideas. So here, what the child is able to do is they are able to analyze the scientific information by identifying the relationships and the patterns and the experimental data and ideas. So here, the problem, I can say here that how far is the difficulty level of the problem, the child must be able to understand, recognize, and apply the scientific information in solving the day-to-day problems. And lastly, the child must be able to discuss and evaluate the scientific information from different sources, apply these different information, and assess its credibility in solving the problem. So the scientific information can be taken up from different sources like internet, newspaper articles, television, scientific texts, and publications. And once this scientific information is gathered, and then they can evaluate the scientific information, whether it is right or wrong, or how far it can be applicable, and then the credibility is then again tested, and then it is again applied in solving the problem. So here, more about the problems will be coming. This is just the basic information about how the problems approaches, that is a problem solving approach through the scientific method. And next we have here the last topic which we are going to deal is about the remedial teaching. So under the remedial teaching, what we do is that we try to give the instruction. The teachers try to impart the instruction, and it is for the purpose of seeing or assessing where the child stands, what is the weak point of the child, and we try to first go through with the evaluation. And based upon the evaluation, like we have a different continuous and comprehensive evaluation as well in our science teaching and learning. And once we go with the diagnostic evaluation, formative evaluation, summative evaluation, we try to understand where the child is having the weak points, what are the strengths of the child, what are the weaknesses of the child. And specific weaknesses here again are being it has been seen, it has been checked out, and here we again try to provide the remedial measures in helping out the student or the individual student in getting the common or specific weaknesses, and how the steps are there for the remedial teaching, what are the steps we have to go through in organization of the remedial teaching for the needy students. These all things, the steps, the purpose, the way the child can be assessed through the evaluation, and where the child is standing, what is the level of the child, and how far we can try to assess the errors in the child's learning and teaching, and how we can try to provide the remedial measures for the child in helping out the child in doing the best. Okay, so this is about the remedial teaching. And further, we will also see about the different topics which has come across the CTET science pedagogy in 2011. and we will just see that all these topics which I have just given a brief introduction, all the 10 topics which are there in the science pedagogical issues. Now, based upon that, we have the pedagogical questions, and in 2011, CTET has given some these pedagogical questions, which I'll be just discussing here in this introductory class. And the first one here is that most boards of education have banned the dissection of animals because animals are no longer available for dissection. Procuring animals has become an expensive proposition. There is a need to sensitize students to prevention of cruelty to animals. Fourth, they may spread new diseases. So among these, which is the most best answer? And before we go out in opting the answer, we first have to understand what the question is about. Understand the question thoroughly. Read once and twice until you understand the question thoroughly, and then try to analyze the question with the answers or the options available to you here. See, the first option says that animals are no longer available. No, it is not correct. Animals are available in the nature. Second, procuring animals has become an expensive proposition. How far it is expensive? Because cockroaches and insects for dissection are usually available everywhere. It's not an expensive proposition. Third is, there is a need to sensitize students to prevention of cruelty to animals. Fourth, they may spread new diseases. They may spread new diseases is like a probable kind of, the answer. But the thing is that every animal or every insect cannot have new diseases, cannot spread at a time the new diseases. So how we can analyze here? The most probable answer is that, or the best answer here is, there is a need to sensitize. There is a need to sensitize students to prevention of cruelty to animals, because it's extremely important that students shouldn't harm animals, and it is to sensitize that the students shouldn't harm animals, and it is for the prevention of cruelty to animals. Okay, so this is the answer. Then next, 82, we have here the next question is, the main aim of conducting mathematics and science Olympiads is to promote excellence in the subject by nurturing creativity and experimentation. Second, grade students according to their capabilities. Third, help students score high marks in professional examinations. Fourth, grade schools based on the performance of their students. So here, among the four options, again here, the main aim of conducting mathematics and science Olympiads is what? The first is to promote excellence. Second is to grade students according to their capabilities. No, because we cannot grade the students based upon the capability only in the Olympiads. Third, help students score high marks in professional examinations. This is not the only objective here. Yes, it may be, but it may not be the only one. Next, fourth one here says about grade schools based upon the performance of their students. No, it's not like that. Even the schools which are in the rural areas are also doing well in such Olympiads. The students are doing well. So we cannot grade schools based upon that. Now, the first one for the students, what is it for the students is to promote excellence in the subject by nurturing creativity and experimentation. So here, the main aim of conducting such kind of Olympiads in mathematics and science is to promote excellence in the subject, and it will help them to nurture the creativity and an attitude of doing experimentations. Now, in the third one, 83rd, we have the question here. 4 applicants for a post of TGT Science were asked to plan a lesson on the consequences of deforestation. Which one of the following lesson plans has a scientific approach? So here, the first option is explains in detail the consequences of deforestation, provides a variety of examples to explain the concept. Third is includes activities that children can perform in groups and draw conclusions through a PowerPoint presentation. Fourth, mentions about the use of ICT to help students understand the concepts. So among these things, I think, what is the best one? So the best one option according to this is, like, first of all, what the question has asked. It has asked that 4 applicants has applied for TGT post and they were asked to plan a lesson on the topic consequences of deforestation. And which one is the following lesson plans has a scientific approach? So here a scientific approach is like we try to do scientific experiments and activities in this approach. So let us see. Explains in detail. Only explanation is not enough. Provides a variety of examples. Providing a variety of examples do help the person to explain the concept, but that is not enough. Mentions, fourth one, mentions about the use of ICT. So we are not just focusing on ICT. We are focusing on other aspects as well. So the third one, what it tells, includes activities that children can perform in groups and draw conclusions through a PowerPoint presentation. Yes, this is one of the most best answer, because children are drawing conclusions through PPT presentation where all the children can view it. So here there is a use of ICT as well. There is a use of activities, and they can draw conclusions through performing activities. So this is a scientific approach. Next one, 84th, Miss Patel, principal of a school XYZ, is keen about integrated approach of teaching science and rather than teaching different disciplines separately. So here, which one is this? Let me just escape, and so that I can read the. Yes. So here, Miss Patel, principal of a school XYZ, is keen about integrated approach. So here, teaching of science rather than teaching different disciplines separately. So what could be here is the options available: non-availability of qualified teachers in her school to teach separate disciplines, difficulty to adjust the teachers in the timetable, difficulty of students to adjust to different teachers. All the disciplines are interlinked, and a teacher can draw on cross-curricular linkages. Again, here, the principal has asked about how about going on with the integrated approach of teaching science. So how can they do this? Is what can be done here? So rather than teaching different disciplines separately, so here, what could be the probable answer is like non-availability of qualified teachers. No, this cannot be possible. And then difficulty to adjust the teachers. Okay, there is no difficulty. There can be a provision of changing the timetable. Difficulty of students to adjust to different teachers. No, this is not also possible, because all teachers teach some of the other subject to the students. Fourth one here, all the disciplines are interlinked, and a teacher can draw all cross-curricular linkages. Draw on cross-curricular linkages. Yes. So when there is an integrated approach, there is linking of the disciplines, and then the teacher can draw on cross-curricular linkages. They can see that what are there in different disciplines, what are the different concepts, and the concept is common, then they can try to draw on the cross-curricular linkages. They can try to inculcate all the different disciplines concepts, and they can provide one lesson on it where they can show how best the concept is being applied in different disciplines. Okay. So this is one. And 85 here, question says about a teacher plans to teach components of food in class 4. Which of the following can be used as essential question? So which of the following can be used as an essential question to ask to the student? The type of question, the question is very important, how the question has been structured here. So a teacher plans to teach components of food, and the probable question is, why does your mother serve you a meal with variety of food items? So again, in this is the option which is the right answer, where a student can be asked this question, and then they can say about the variety of food items they eat every day, and why do the mother serve such a meal to them. Okay, then we are going to go with the next one, 86. While teaching the concept, force can change the shape of an object to students, the teacher plans the following activities. Okay, the following activities are: number 1, explain concepts using commonly observed examples, provide a dough on a plate and ask the students to press it down with hand, Show an audiovisual film explaining the concept with some examples. So these are the different activities. First is the explanation. Second is providing a dove and giving a demonstration. Next is showing an audiovisual film, AV aids. So the teacher is using different approaches to learning because she wants to prove her knowledge. She knows she must follow her lesson plan. She wants to prepare students for a test, or there are different kinds of learners in the class and she wants to address multiple intelligences. See, while the teaching the concept, force can change the shape of an object to students, the teacher plans the following activities. Why does the teacher plans all these activities? Explanation, demonstration, and showing a audiovisual film, because the teacher wants to see to it that there are different kinds of learners in the class and she wants to address all multiple intelligences, where students of different multiple intelligences can understand the concept through explanation or through demonstration or through a audiovisual film. Okay. Then next 87 here is, which of the following can be assessed when Geeta is using only MCQ tool to assess nutrition in humans? So Geeta is a teacher who is assessing only using multiple choice questions as a tool to assess nutrition in humans. So what could be the answer? Which of the following can be assessed here? Analytical ability to classify food items and make a poster, misconceptions related to food habits, learners' ability to apply knowledge and prepare a role play to present in the morning assembly, learners' ability to comprehend the importance of components of food, and write a long essay. See, Geeta is using only MCQ here, and she wants to assess the concept nutrition in humans. So, what it can be assessed, what can be known when Geeta is using only this tool as an evaluation tool? So, first is the analytical ability to classify food items, misconceptions related to food habits, learners' ability to apply knowledge and prepare a role play. See, this is something extra. Here it is like an apply knowledge and prepare a role play to present in the morning assembly. No, we're not doing some extra activity here. Learners' ability to comprehend the importance and write a long essay on it. No, MCQs are not for that, not for this. And then analytical ability to classify food. No, it's not to just classify and categorize food. It is about misconceptions related to food habits. So that's the reason Geeta is using MCQ, so that they can understand how children can be able to understand upon the misconceptions related to food habits. So second is the answer. Now coming to 88th question. A science teacher plans group activities to teach properties of air to students of class 6. Which of the set of attributes would she like to have in students she selects as group leaders? So here the teacher is trying to plan an activity to teach a group activities to teach properties of air to students of class 6. Which set of attributes would she like to have? What she wants in the students would like to have? The first one is freedom to choose roles, work at their own pace and understanding, ordering students to take roles and deliver in consonance with their understanding. Third is giving major roles to brighter students and ensure the group finishes first. Fourth, assigning roles as per capability, motivating and coordinating among the group members. So what could be the best thing that could be achieved when the teacher is planning to teach properties of air to students of class 6? Which one set of attributes would she like to have in students she selects as group leaders? So here, not freedom to choose roles and work at their own pace, because they are 6th class students and we cannot order the students to take roles. Giving major roles to brighter students, no, this is not a possible answer. And fourth one is assigning roles as per capability, motivating and coordinating among the group members. Yes, and as per the capability of the student, the teacher is assigning the roles, motivating the children in the group, and then coordinating among the group members and the group leaders to perform the activity about the concept properties of air. Okay, so fourth is the answer. Now 89th here, while selecting a performance task to help students develop research skills in a science class, a teacher may pick up a topic. So this is about research, and the teacher here wants to see to it that it should help the students to develop some research skills in science class. So here the options given are from the content given in the syllabus, which must be completed in time, which majority of the students in the class find interesting, which she thinks is important for the students. Fourth is related to a problem faced by students in their day-to-day functioning and which is a part of the concepts to be covered in for this class. So in this 89th question, while selecting a performance task to help students develop research skills in science class, a teacher may pick up a topic. What topic could be picked up so that students can understand and develop the research skills? So the most probable answer here is not from the content given the syllabus, nor the students what they find interesting, and not even what she thinks is important, but related to a problem faced by the students in their day-to-day functioning and which is a part of the concept to be covered for this class. So it is including both, means students are able to solve out the problem in the day-to-day functioning as well as that particular concept is to be covered in the class. Okay, so the fourth one is the probable answer where the students are developing research skills in a science class. Okay, so next, the last question here is about while investigating how water affects the germination of seeds, a teacher asks the students to soak bean seeds on a bed of cotton wool for a few days and observe the changes. What is the guideline that she forgot to mention? So here the teacher has given an instruction, I must say, an instruction to the students like how water affects the germination of seeds. She wants to demonstrate this topic and she asks the students to soak beans on the bed of cotton wool for a few days. But what guidelines she forgot to mention? Many seeds on a wet cotton, few seeds on a wet cotton, many seeds on dry cotton, few seeds on dry cotton. So we cannot use dry cotton because for germination of seeds, we require that the beans are soaked on a bed of cotton wool for a few days and observe the changes. So we cannot use a dry cotton here. So what could be the answer here? Not many seeds or few seeds on wet cotton or dry cotton. So here is the answer. As you all know that it can be few seeds, not many seeds. When they soak few seeds on a wet cotton, they can be able to understand and observe the changes. So second is the answer. Okay, so this is the end of all the 10 questions which has come up from the science pedagogy. I hope you could understand this, all of the 10 questions which are related to the science pedagogy. If you understand the further classes, definitely it will be easy for you to go on in giving the right options for the questions which are coming out from the science pedagogical issues. Okay, so I hope you could go on with this topic today. And I would definitely like to see you all in the next upcoming sessions of science pedagogy, where we are going to go into the detail and depth of each and every topic. Thanking you so much. Thank you for now.
Thank you so much, madam, for a great beginning. Looking forward for upcoming sessions. Thank you. Thank you
so
one
much.
and all for viewing live and also offline.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Namaskar and welcome to all the learners with Inspiring Teachers by Dr. Yakaiah and Team. I'm Dr. Yakaiah, teacher educator by profession, and inspiring teachers and researchers is my passion. Now I request Ashwini, who has come forwarded, who herself has qualified CTET, and she's an aspirant of UGC NET JRF in education. So thus I know her for the last 1 year, 1.5 years. Has been an hardworking, sincere, committed. And when I was searching for a social faculty, in fact, as if you want Telugu teaching teachers in Telangana has become a rarity. So in social methodology, particularly those who can teach in English. Telugu, I know quite a good number of people are there. In English, we have very rare. So fortunately, we got Ashwini. So I introduce Ashwini briefly. She's Masters in English, MEd, and qualified CTET, and appearing her NET exam, and hopefully shortly she'll be clearing and aspiring for teacher educator position in short coming days. Yes, Ashwini, with these brief introductory words, I invite you to continue the session with a brief introduction about yourself.
Yes, sir. Good evening, CTET aspirants. I am Ashwini. I'm Masters in Education I have completed, and I have completed my MA in English, and I'm qualified in CTET also. So today I am here to deal with CTET Social Pedagogy. So social pedagogy is a most important topic in our social science, as it deals with only a few marks, 20 marks or less than 20, but it plays a more role while we are attempting that answers. So we have to be very conscious. At least 1 mark would be very useful to qualify the CTET. So at that time we'll be feeling. So we should have prepared better. So we should not feel like that after attempting our CTET exam. So even though the pedagogy covers a few questions or few marks, we have to concentrate on all subject matter to qualify the CTET. So here I am going to deal with social pedagogy, in which the subjects syllabus, what is the syllabus of this social pedagogy, which is to be covered in the social science in CTET paper. Let me share my screen, the syllabus of ours. Just wait a moment. Yeah. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Yeah. Here is our social studies pedagogy paper. Here is a syllabus which are going to be covered the questions in the CTET question paper. So these are the topics play a major role in our question paper. These topics may also decide our CTET marks or qualifying marks also. So here, the first topics we are going to deal is concept and nature of social science and social studies. So here, as a social teacher, we have to know what is meant by social science and what is meant by social studies. So what is the main concept under this, and what is the nature of the social science and social studies? As we are the teachers, we have to deal with the younger students, adolescents students. So we have to be very careful in the classroom. So we have to know a prior knowledge on about all these syllabus or knowledge. So what is the concept and nature of social science and social studies? So what is meant by social science? It is a systematized body of knowledge about human beings and society. It deals with the human beings and also the society, how they are living. So it is the application of scientific methods and rigorous standards of evidence to the study of the humanity and the social world through the use of both qualitative and quantitative methods. So in order to emphasize the social science, we can use the scientific methods as the evidence to study. We should get some evidence about the human society or the human beings. So we can use both the qualitative methods and the quantitative methods. Social science deals with the different types of branches. Social science is not a alone subject. It deals with the fields of science concerned with the studies of social life of human groups and individuals. It includes economics, geography, history, political science, psychology, social studies, and sociology. So next here we are come to social studies. What is meant by social studies? So social studies means it is a curriculum vehicle through which the capacities of disciplinary knowledge, disciplinary means multiple knowledge, thinking skills, commitment to democratic values and citizen participation and built in the students. So as we are the teachers, we have to develop all these skills and the commitment to the democratic values which are framed by our Constitution of India. These are should be built in the students as we are a social studies teacher. So its primary purpose, the pedagogy primary purpose is to help young people develop the ability to make informed. They have to know what is there and reasoned decisions. They are able to reason. They have to develop reasoning abilities also for the public good. For the sake of public, they have to develop their reasoning decisions. They have to develop the decision skills also as good citizens of culturally diversified democratic society in an independent world. So finally, social studies is the integrated study of the social sciences and humanities to promote civic competence. So in this particular civilization, there will be a competence among the humanities. So it deals with different branches, as I said, like sociology. Sociology, it is the study of human social relationship. It deals with the human relationships or social system or human group behavior. So sociology is the systematic study of society and human social actions. Next, it deals with also psychology. It is a study of human soul, mind, behavior, personality, and how these are affected by individuals' environment. So when a human being is involved in a society, when he is being involved in the society, how is mind or how his behavior or how his personality is going to be modified in a particular environment. It also deals with the political science, like it is a study of social arrangement to maintain peace and order within a society. So there should be some arrangement, there should be some rules and regulations in order to move each and everyone with free and with some values, respect with each other. So there should be some supremacy power over our human beings. So states and politics, power, law, and ideology are the components of political science. There is a law which will look after all the citizens. So law and order will keep the citizens to make our human life peace. So it also deals with the history. So without history, we are not there right now. So somewhere the history has the study of past of humans in the world. So after knowing about our history or after knowing about our past, knowing about the information or the activities or the incidents happen in the history, then we are as a students, as a elementary stage students, they are going to analyze the past and the present things. So it deals with the social studies, deals with the history also. So the social curriculum should cover the history topic also. It deals with the geography. Geography means it is the study of lands, features, inhabitants, and phenomenon of earth. So it deals about land, how is land formed, what are the features of the land, what is the phenomenon of earth. So here it deals with both physical geography and human geography. In our further sessions, we will be dealing with in depth about all these. It also deals with economics. It is a social science that analyzes the production and the distribution, consumption of goods and services, how the production will be done and how the distribution will be done and how the consumption of goods and services are done by the humans will be dealt with the economics. It also deals with the anthropology. So here anthropology is the holistic science of man, a science of the totality of human existence. Sorry, there will be some evidence that human is there, human existence is there in the our on earth. So which shows there are two types of anthropology which we are going to deal. They are physical anthropology and cultural anthropology. Physical anthropology deals with the our environment which we are going to interact, and cultural environment deals with the what are the cultural activities are followed by the humans in the past along with some evidence. So, and the second topic, we are going to deal with the classroom processes, activities, and discourses. As a social studies teacher, it is very important to go through all the classroom processes. It is the key behavior of a social science teacher. So, as a teacher, what is meant by classroom? Classroom means it is an area, a space in an educational institution where learning takes place uninterrupted by outside distractions. So, to not get distracted by the students, there should be some space to make them indulge in the topic, or to make more relevant or more concentrate on the topics which we are going to deal. So there should be classroom. The classroom will play an important role. So a classroom process includes, in the classroom they will not think anything about. They are free from outside distractions. Their thinking, feelings, commitments, and actions of teachers and students. There will be only three matters, three key behaviors are going to be dealt in the classroom process. There is teaching behavior, student behavior. So these are the two main, and the teaching environment also play an important role. So these are the three key main behaviors which we are going to go from the classroom processes. And what are the approaches by teaching? Was a social studies teacher, what are the approaches to be followed by ourselves? For teaching of any content, not any single approach is enough to deal with the students. So geography follows a different type of approach. The geography approach which is relevant, which is not relevant to teach history topics. So we can follow according to our content. According to our content, we can follow different types of approaches like teacher-centered approach, learner-centered approach, subject-centered approach, teacher-dominated approach, and constructivist approach. Nowadays, plays a key role in our educational institutions, which is given by the Lev Vygotsky. So, this constructivist approach nowadays the teachers and educational institutions are following. Along with that, collaborative approach and integrated approach. With the interaction with the teacher and the student and the peer group, this should be integrated approach follows. And there are some methods to be followed to teach different type of contents which we are going to select. Like to teach history, the lecture method will be we feel better, and to teach geography, demonstration method will be better. And inquiry method, this plays an important role nowadays in our classrooms. The inquiry based method means it is inquired by the student itself the content, inquire and discover new learning. The teacher should not just give whatever the textbook knowledge to the students. The student has to discover the knowledge. He has to inquire the knowledge, go search for new knowledge. Next, problem solving method. This is the most scientific method in searching new information. So, such as teaching of geography is a good technique. So, in order to teach a geography as a social studies teacher, we will use globes, charts. So, and use audio visual in a language class with a good technique. It will play an important role. So, next, here we are going to deal with some activities. So what are the activities we are going to conduct in a classroom? Like verbal questions. Some questions will be given by the teacher and the students will be done according to that. And case study. Case study means what? The learning is enabled by comparing and contrasting. So whether the students will go through some, if the teacher gives any task, the students will go through that and they will inquire about it, and they will gather from the newspaper or from the textbook. So they will go through that case study. Next, cooperative learning from the students or with the teacher, face-to-face learning. So this type of interaction will be done in the classroom activities. Next, group processing, learning conversations, along with conversations also like conducting debates. So this is the best method while for political science to teach. To teach political science, debate method is the best method. And what is a discourse here? Here is a discourse, one more content. So discourse means what? Actually, this discourse is used for the language purpose in English. Why? Because discourse approach means what? Discourse approach to interpretation of text is normally used for teaching languages like English. So discourse means a pattern of verbal behavior and the process of unfolding an idea into text. So an idea, so verbal behavior is made to put into a text. So this is called a live language, while text is called a monument to life. So there are three aspects while conducting this discourse play an important role. While we are conducting discourse to students, we have to give instructions. They are semantic, syntactic, and pragmatic aspects. Next, our third syllabus we are going to cover is developing critical thinking. Critical thinking means what? Critical thinking, which means it is the central to the academic success to all points. Nowadays, if the students have gathered, the students are increased in this critical thinking, then they are at the top academic levels, they are on the top level. So to enhance the level of thinking beyond memorization, not only just rote memory, and into the realms of analysis and logic. So critical thinking skills enable students to assess the burning issues of the society and command or condemn them justifiably. So creative thinking generates idea, and the critical thinking enables to justify. Okay. Next, so what are the characteristics of this critical thinking? What are the benefits of this critical thinking? We are going to discuss in our further session. So in order to develop this critical thinking, Bloom's taxonomy. Here, nowadays we are following Bloom's taxonomy, the revised Bloom's taxonomy in 2001, framed by Bloom's. We are going to learn in our further sessions. And next, inquiry or empirical method. Inquiry or empirical evidence. Inquiry or empirical evidence means we are going through the right, whatever the students are having, or whatever the students they are have with them, they are inquiring on their own. There will be some evidence, real evidence will be carried out by them. So this develops a creative thinking. So inquiry-based learning means engagement with a complex issue that allows for a variety of responses. Students take responsibility of selecting the lines of inquiry and methods to be employed. So in this inquiry-based learning, ask questions from students to assess their knowledge and understanding level. The students will continuously go on asking their questions to enhance, to get more, to endeavor more knowledge. So on the other hand, empirical evidence is a term related to experience. They are trying to get experienced knowledge. So inquiry-based learning is a learning that is driven by a process. There will be certain steps to be given by the students to be followed to know about this inquiry-based learning. So next, we are going to topic is the problems of teaching social science. So what are the problems of teaching social science? it should be the teacher should be have positive attitude, and the students also should have positive attitude. And the availability of teachers nowadays, to teach in the social science in English, especially in corporate schools, the teachers with English who are able to teach the social science are very rare. So they are high, they are, it's very problematic for the corporate schools to deal with the social science teachers. There are very rare English medium social science teachers are very rare. So availability of teachers also one of the problem. Next, instructional material. So there should be some instructional materials like globe, charts, like library. This should be provided for the teachers. And also in-service teacher training. If the teachers are not enough competent to teach the present curriculum textbooks, the teachers should be trained by the NCTE. Training programs should be conducted frequently, once in a year or for 6 months. Once in a year is enough. And also library. The library plays an important role for an education institution. The students should feel the library as a hub, like a home hub to him. So the library should attract the students to get into the library and make them to read more and more books. So the library should be available in the educational institutions. And another is curriculum and textbooks of a social science. Curriculum also, a good curriculum social science textbook also play an important role, like our democracy. And the selection and organization of materials into a meaningful social science curriculum enables the students to develop a critical understanding of a society. So the students are able to develop a critical understanding of society. So inclusion of new dimensions at the right now, whatever the present topics present we are facing, these are the topics to be included in our curriculum. Updated knowledge should be included in our curriculum. So our textbooks have been changed. So like that, good curriculum text knowledge should be provided in the curriculum. Subject experts like experienced persons will frame the curriculum. So there are some approaches also in teaching of social science. Next, sources of primary sources and secondary sources. There are some sources to teach social science also. So what are primary sources and secondary sources? Primary sources means that we are readily available at the first hand experiences. Second hand experiences which we get, they are called as secondary resources. So there are two different types of resources. They are primary sources and secondary sources. In primary sources also we have more than 3 types. They are physical sources, oral sources, written or printed sources. So in physical sources like buildings, monuments, temples. So if we want to look at the Golconda, there we can take the students to there. So these are called primary sources. Oral sources means like folk songs by famous singers. Like, so these are oral sources. Next, written or printed sources like from papers or stones or on plates. In the olden days, they have written on the palm trees, palm leaves, okay, and on the stones. They made art on the stones. So these comes under the written or printed sources. Now, when coming to secondary sources provides being analyzed, rewarded, or interpreted. So examples of these second-hand sources are books, newspapers, magazines, television, and internet. So in our further sessions, we are going to compare between the primary sources and the secondary sources. Next, we have come to project work. So nowadays, as in social sciences, project works play an important role. Why? because a famous Chinese proverb here tells like tell me and I forgot, show me and I remember, involve me, I understand. So this is a famous proverb says about when we tell their students will forget. When we show them, they remember. But when we involve them in the experience, they will get understand. Next, so project-based instructional strategies have the roots in the constructivist approach done by Lev Vygotsky, Jerome Bruner, Jean Piaget, John Dewey. So this project works makes students fun, motivating, challenging because they play an active role in choosing the project and the entire planning process. According to their interest only, they will choose the project works. So they can involve active role in that project work. So before giving this project works, we have to guide them from which type of topics they have to take, from where they have to start, from there where they have to get information, and what are the conclusions to be made by them. So these are the guidelines should be given for the students before assigning this project works. Next, we are going to last topic, evaluation. This plays an important role in each and every step of our teaching process. It's a continuous process from our class from time to time, not only from a class end or from unit or an year course. It is a continuous process. There are different types of evaluation. There are summative evaluation, formative evaluation, and a diagnostic evaluation. So formative evaluation means it is a continuous process. Immediately after completing of our period, we are going to test the knowledge of the students by some oral questions, right? And summative evaluation, it will be done at the end of the unit or end of the term or end of the year. So formative evaluation is a measurement and summative evaluation is a judgment given by the teacher or the educational institution about the students. Diagnostic evaluation, it done before the teacher going to start the teaching. Whatever the knowledge has gained by the students in the prior classes. So no student is blank. Some student has some knowledge in him. Yes, so in order to get what the knowledge has acquired by the student, in order to know the teacher has to make diagnostic evaluation before starting a topic or anything to the student. So these are the topics are going to be covered in our further sessions to qualify our CTET, right? Thank you, one and all.
Yeah. Thank you so much and congratulations, Ashwini. We thought you will give a brief introduction, but though concise, crisp, and critical presentation of the syllabus topics you have given, we look forward for the further sessions, and thank you so much.